I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with a 3-minute cattle market update for Friday, August the 12th. We're in the middle of the week here. Your futures market just kind of taking a breather here for the most part, especially on the fat side. On the feeders, giving up a little bit of that overbought status there from last week, but all in all, not too bad really. It's not taking a nosedive or anything. Live cattle futures on the October contract on Wednesday was down just 7 cents. Thursday was down 37 cents to end the day on Thursday at 114.55. Your August spot market's at 116.02. So in there pretty tight to what your cash fat cattle are bringing right now. Feeder cattle futures September contract on Wednesday was down 35 cents. Thursday was down $1.52 to end the day on Thursday at 146.97. Your CME feeder cattle index is at 147.82. Real-time index on Cattle Market Central is a little higher than that at 148.58. Very, very few fat cattle have traded so far this week. Everybody's really nervous about that. Steady would probably be a wash. If we give up any ground, it's going to be a very negative sign right there, and anything above steady would be a victory. The way the board's been, and just not a whole lot of fundamental things really pushing the market right now. We've pretty much got everything figured into the market, so just kind of see what they do. You know, we don't have many people in the negotiated market right now to do a whole lot, but we'll see what they get done. But we may have already set the market, even though there's just been a few deals sell, and they've all been either in Nebraska and that Iowa, southern Minnesota region. 116 live and 187 on a dress basis, so pretty close in there to steady. You know, we're supposed to be pretty current, and they say we're very current in the feedlots and digging in those cattle pretty hard. But your actual weights on your actual slaughter data that comes out, and that's the data from the July 30th week there, showed that your average dress steer was inching up a little bit at 883 pounds, and in the whole scheme of things, that's still a pretty good sized carcass. Your slaughter this week is running real close to last week, 449,000 through Thursday there, and that's exactly what they did the previous week, and 17,000 more than the same week a year ago. We're looking at a big supply and demand grain report coming out here on Friday, so that'll be interesting to see. Shouldn't do a whole lot to the corn, but could do quite a bit to the beans there, which does also affect your feeder cattle there. Look at some cash feeder cattle sales here middle of the week. El Reno, Oklahoma, around 8,500 head there. Market was called steady on feeder steers, steady to 3 higher on the feeder heifers, and not a real good test of calves. Look at your Cattle Market Central market report out of El Reno there, and that steady call on those feeder steers was sure right there, because you look at the 700 to 900 pound feeder steers, there's less than 30 cents difference on the weighted average on the change of those cattle right there, and that's good automated information that's picked up by Cattle Market Central there, and it hasn't been skewed at all by any kind of a bias one way or the other from any kind of individual. It's all automated. Look at a couple more market reports on Cattle Market Central there. 2 big sales there in Kansas, one in North Central, the other in South Central. Look at Salina, Kansas, the Farmers and Ranchers livestock there. That's on a Thursday sale, and evidently that board coming down $1.50 or a little better on Thursday kind of affected the market, even though that's really not that big of a move right now, especially after things have been holding kind of steady all week. But you look at those feeder steers, $1 to $3 lower. Look at Pratt, Kansas, same deal, good run, both of those sales, 4,000 to 5,000 head in each of them, and your Pratt feeder steers were $1 to $3 also. That's 3 minutes, and we'll talk to you next week.